I don't know if it's just me, but some of these new makeup releases this month are kind of boring. This is probably not for you and you can definitely pass. You can't convince me out of this one. Things are getting extra expensive. Pass for me. It is a complete waste of money. It's good. It's not bad, but it's nothing special. Charlotte Tilbury will never let us forget Pillow Talk. Do I need it? Definitely not. But as much as I love this, I can love it, admire it, and not buy it. And it's something I can definitely live without. Hi gorgeous, welcome back to the beauty room. My name is Elle if you're new. And in these videos, I share with you my hot takes and personal opinions about the newest makeup releases. In addition, I'll let you know whether or not I will be purchasing or passing on these products. If you just so happen to come across this video and you've never watched anything like this before, I basically share not only positive opinions, but negative and critical opinions on upcoming products, just to give you my first impression and talk myself out of buying certain purchases that I probably don't need or want more of. The whole point of this video is to also create conversation out of these new makeup releases. So if you have a different opinion, whether it's negative or positive, we embrace it here on this channel as long as you're kind and respectful. So please do not leave me hanging. Don't make me talk to myself. Leave a comment below and I will be sure to try to reply to as many comments as I can. As always, a lot of my new makeup releases news comes from the Trend Mood 1 page. If you want to be up to date and hear about some of the new makeup releases before this video even comes out, you can check out Trend Mood 1. Starting off strong, we have e.l.f. Cosmetics. e.l.f. Cosmetics has been releasing so many freaking new makeup releases lately. They are becoming the new color pop of this makeup era, in my opinion. I feel like over time, we're probably gonna get tired of them releasing the same old stuff, but I think the reason why I'm not personally tired is because they launch a variety of different dupes. It's not just eyeshadows on eyeshadows on eyeshadows. They launch a bunch of different products, and this time around, they are duping the De-Bronzy Drunk Elephant drops, which is not a surprise. I'm actually kind of surprised they didn't launch this sooner. These are called the bronzing drops. They're supposed to bronze and nourish your skin, and they come in, I think, 3 to 4 different shades. For me, I am kind of excited about this launch because before the Drunk Elephant De-Bronzy drops became a trend or a thing, I used to love those drops. But over time, there has been so many different dupes and alternatives coming out that I just cannot justify the price tag of the Drunk Elephant De-Bronzy drops for what they are. And my De-Bronzy drops has recently expired, so I'm excited to try the e.l.f. ones and see if they're any similar or anything better. So for me, I'm kind of excited about this, and I'm hoping that they are better than the De-Bronzy drops from Drunk Elephant. I would imagine so, because e.l.f. is always killing it with their formulas, and at the end of the day, the product is $12 in comparison to Drunk Elephant. So with that being said, I am probably going to purchase this if I see it in store. I don't know if I'm going to be ordering it online just to buy one product, but we will see. If you do need some convincing out of this product though, this is a reminder that if you already have the Drunk Elephant De-Bronzy drops, and if you already have anything similar, because I know there have been so many dupes already that have come out, that means that you definitely do not need the e.l.f. Cosmetics bronzing drops until you probably finish the one that you have. And unless you don't like the one that you have, I'm sure you are not missing out on anything. Wait for the influencers and the content creators to try them out before you spend your $12. Speaking of e.l.f., of course, they released something else recently. It's the e.l.f. Power Grip Dewy Setting Spray. I actually recently purchased this at Ulta, and the packaging says it's a shockingly fine mist for major makeup grip. What I found interesting is that in the formula, it's kind of separated, so you're supposed to shake it up and spray it. It reminded me a lot of the Milk Makeup Setting Spray, which now everyone is comparing these two online. Personally, for me, I'm not the biggest fan of dewy setting sprays, so if you don't like a glowy dewy setting spray, this is probably not for you, and you can definitely pass. So the first time I used this, I shook it up and I sprayed it. And y'all, they literally mean it's a shockingly fine mist. This was not what I expected. It feels so refreshing on the skin because of the mist. It almost feels like nothing is really going on your face. It is so fine that you almost can't feel it. Overall, I'm really enjoying the experience of this. I can't speak for the actual longevity of my makeup. The next makeup launch is an automatic no for me. It's the Anastasia Beverly Hills Beauty Balm Serum Boosted Skin Tint. And y'all, I'm not gonna lie, this looks gorgeous. This looks very appealing, especially for the summertime. It's very like Glossier vibes, but it's in a stick form. However, anything that has the word balm in it is a complete pass for me. It is a complete waste of money because anything balmy, like any product that is balmy, is usually really greasy on my skin and sticky and doesn't set down, and I hate that feeling, but I also don't think it has good longevity throughout the day with my oily skin. So as beautiful as this looks, I am definitely not the target market for this product, and I'm sure this does not give the coverage that I want. The next drugstore makeup release I am very excited for, and it's gonna take a lot to convince me out of it. NYX is releasing blush versions of their Buttermelt line, and y'all, I recently purchased the NYX Buttermelt bronzers, and I am absolutely in love. I would highly recommend this bronzer if you're looking for a top tier drugstore bronzer. Fair warning, it is very pigmented, so you have to use a very fluffy brush and a light hand. It's such a smooth, blendable texture, and it has a gorgeous sheen to it without being glittery or overly dewy and glowy, which I really love. Even though I'm supposed to convince you out of buying this, but that is exactly the reason why I'm so interested in the Buttermelt blushes, because if it's the same formula, I'm gonna be so excited for them. Also, NYX does such a good job at their color range. They're always pretty experimental and they like to do fun colors. So I'm excited to see what kind of shade range they come out with for their blushes. The only thing that could convince me out of it is, so far, the 3 shades that I see in this photo, not interested. If it's only these 3 shades, probably won't buy it. So we'll see. If there's a color that I like, then I will buy it. If there's not a color that I like, then I will just completely pass on it. And in the same breath, I know I have one too many blushes. I definitely do not need another blush. I recently bought the House Labs blushes and I've been so happy with those. So technically, this should be a pass for me, and if you're in the same boat, we should pass on this. We should. But will I? No promises. Also, something that I've noticed lately is that there have been so many blush and lip product releases. In all of my past criticizing new makeup releases video, we have been talking a lot about lip products, and I feel like this is usually the time of year where we see a lot of bronzers. And for some reason, as I was looking at the new makeup releases, there weren't many bronzing products that have been released yet. I wonder if that's going to be something that happens in May or June. That feels kind of late for makeup, right? But instead of bronzers, I see a lot of brands releasing sunscreens, which I'm totally not mad about, because the more sunscreen options, the better, especially in the United States. When it comes to finding a sunscreen that doesn't give a white cast and isn't super sticky or greasy or pills on the skin, it's really difficult. But now that there has been so many sunscreen releases, there's a much bigger selection of sunscreens that I never had before. So I'm not mad about that. But that's all to say, you're gonna be seeing a lot of lip product launches and blush launches in this video. We need to choose wisely with our money because we don't need it all. Anyways, speaking of lip product launches, of course we have new flavors of the Laneige Lip Glowy balms. Apparently the new flavors are vanilla and sweet candy, and they're also releasing, if not they already have released, blueberry and mango. So these are 2 separate posts. Oh, wait, the sweet candy and vanilla, I'm so late on that. That launched like a month ago. Okay, anyways, I think it's blueberry and mango that are the new flavors. My point is, you don't need all the flavors. You don't. You don't need all the scents. You don't need them. They're all the same formula. You don't need to collect them all like Pokemon. I have a feeling that the reason why they're launching all of these different flavors is very like similar to the reason why ColourPop was launching every single shade of the rainbow in palettes. It's to collect them all. It's to get you to buy them all. And I feel like it's targeted to a younger demographic. So someone like me, I am gonna pick my one lip balm, pick the one flavor I like and use it all up. When it comes to like other makeup products, products, I'm not really like that, but when it comes to lip balm, it's just like I'm gonna pick my one favorite scent and stick with that. But I feel like for the younger demographic, y'all love good lip balm, especially if you don't wear makeup or you're just starting out in makeup. So what you can buy or want to buy is going to be every flavor of lip balm. But this is just a reminder that you do not need every flavor of lip balm. With all of that being said, I have actually never tried the Laneige lip glowy balms. I've tried the lip sleeping mask, which I absolutely love. I think it's in, what is the scent? I don't know. I feel like this is a sweet candy scent, no? It's the original pink one. I've had this for like, I'm not gonna lie, like a year or two, and I've barely made a dent in this, and I use this all the time, so that's saying something. But I do want to try the lip glowy balms. It's been on my list, but it's kept falling on the back burner because I like this, and why would I buy another lip balm? I also have a bunch of other lip balms that I'm trying to use up, so I haven't yet gotten myself to buy them. I actually might though for the summertime, because dipping my fingers in this is kind of what makes me not want to use it. And I also feel like it would help for the sake of knowledge to talk about it on my channel. So if you do like these lip glowy balms, tell me, what do you like about them? Are they any different from any other lip balm that you've tried? Is it better than Summer Fridays? Is it better than Rhode? I do have to say, not a fan of Summer Fridays. It dries out my lips, so they're not for me, but I do like the Rhode Peptide Lip Tint. So do you think I'll like the Laneige lip glowy balm? Let me know in the comments below. Next up is a very exciting launch for a lot of people. I was shocked how excited everyone was for this. Hourglass released their new Vanish Airbrush Pressed Powders, and I have a bone to pick with Hourglass, which I will talk about in a second. I was very excited about this. I bought this during the Sephora sale. If you watch my Sephora sale videos, I'll link it in the cards. If you haven't, you know that I bought this, but spoiler, I think that for the price, it's good. It's not bad, but it's nothing special. And I'm a person who loves Hourglass. I am a fan of their powders, their palettes. I love Hourglass, okay? They just have so many hit products. And from the very beginning, Hourglass has always been known as a very luxury, expensive brand. So the price of this product is not surprising to me at all, especially if I know it's going to feel special and work in ways that other products don't. And Hourglass is known for a lot of their blush and bronzer and powder formulas to be very different than a lot of other brands, because the powders have this way of reflecting light, and it works really well not only on younger skin but mature skin. So when it comes to this powder, at least for my skin, I just felt like it works like every other mattifying powder. And the packaging was typical Hourglass, but it wasn't anything extraordinary. So I just want to warn you, if you haven't bought it yet, you're not missing out, especially because it did sell out on Sephora during the sale. So I feel like everyone was kind of running after it, which shows me that people are excited about it. But if you didn't get the chance to get it, trust me, you're not missing out on anything. And on top of that, they raised the price. So originally I paid $48, and then I got the Sephora 20% off discount. And then when I checked back a week later to see, what shades were still in stock, they raised the price to $54. I don't know why they decided to raise the price on this. I know a lot of brands raise their prices due to inflation, especially on older products. I'm just confused as to why they didn't initially price it at $54 and they started at $48, and then noticed how popular it was, how in demand it was, and they're like, okay, we can charge more. I'm guessing that's what happened. I could be completely wrong. Anyways, on a more positive note, Daness and Myricks is releasing another cream product to the YummySkin line, and it's the YummySkin Lowlighter. So there's 4 different cream highlighter looking shades, and automatically I'm already just gonna say I will not be buying this. I have been trying not to buy any highlighters, even though I've been noticing more brands releasing them. I'm just not a highlighter person. I do not wear highlighter enough to justify buying more highlighters. I have 2 that I really like. When I want to use them, I will use those ones, but highlighters are just not a thing for me. I'm sure this is going to be beautiful, knowing Daness and Myricks and her formulations, but if you're like me and you have oily skin and you really think about how often you use highlighter, probably not often enough to buy a cream highlighter, right? And at least with powders, they have a little bit of a longer lifespan, but with cream product, they expire quicker. And when it comes to highlighter, you're only using it literally on the high points of your cheeks, maybe on your nose, maybe on your Cupid's bow. You need a very small, tiny amount. So I know y'all are always talking about how I have so much blush and it's so hard to get through a blush, but it's even more difficult to get through a highlighter. All right, next up is yet another lip product release, but this one I'm very excited about, and it's gonna take a lot to talk myself out of this one. I'm not gonna lie. It is from YSL Beauty. They're releasing their Love Shine Candy Glow Tinted Butter Balms. Y'all, you know how much I love the YSL candy glazes, and the phrase butter balm sounds like everything I want and more. It's supposed to be a sheerer formula to the candy glaze, so I'm assuming it's gonna have the same gloss-like sheen, but it's gonna be more hydrating, it's gonna be more sheer, and the packaging, I don't know if it's like the lighting that's off, but to me, that packaging looks kind of rose gold and pink, which I'm obsessed with. I'm probably gonna buy this. I have to admit, I'm probably only gonna buy one because they are a sheerer formula, but I have to try it. I also have a feeling because it's described as a butter balm, it might be more melty on the lips and a little less thick in comparison to the candy glaze. So we will see. I feel like I would just have to try this out of curiosity to see if I like it better than the candy glaze. You can't convince me out of this one. Next up is yet another blush launch, and it's from NARS. They aren't relaunching like anything, well, it is kind of new. They reformulated their blushes to be, I think, talc-free and vegan. So now they have relaunched them to have the same shades, but I think there are some new shades also. I heard that there was a new shade of the Orgasm blush, but in a matte formula. I did have the opportunity to swatch this in Sephora while I was shopping the sale, and it looked gorgeous, I'm not gonna lie. From what I remember, the formula reminded me a lot of the House Labs blushes. It had that like sheer base to it, but you could build it up to be more pigmented. And the thing about NARS is they do such a good job at like color cosmetics and their shade range for their blushes. So there's so many vibrant shades that could work not only on lighter skin tones, but deeper skin tones, and just shades that are more unique that you usually don't see a lot of brands come out with. With all of that being said, of course, I do not need another blush, and this is a permanent part of their collection. So if in the future I am interested in any of the shades, then I can buy it. I'm not going to be in a rush to buy the new NARS blushes. I might even wait until the next Sephora sale in October or November, I think. Let's stay on the blush topic because Armani Beauty is releasing their Luminous Silk Cheek Tints, and these are, I have mixed feelings about this and Armani Beauty in general. I love Armani Beauty and what they release. I love their products and the concepts of their products all the time. However, every time I look at the price, I just cringe because it's so expensive, especially with every brand raising their prices. I feel like Armani Beauty and Hourglass, it's just getting to the point where I'm like, I don't know if I can justify those prices anymore. Like, things are getting extra expensive. Like, they were expensive before. Even the cheap things are expensive, which means the luxury things are extra expensive. And Armani Beauty is not the exception here. So these tinted lip cheek blush thingies look gorgeous, but I have a feeling since they're called tints, they're going to be a sheer formula. It's also described to be a glowy product, which I don't really like glowy cheek products because I have texture on my cheeks and I don't really like to enhance it. And especially when it comes to sheer liquid blushes, for me that translates to patchy. And I feel like that works for people who have even skin, beautiful skin from the very beginning. But if you're like me, you have texture, you have acne scarring on your cheeks, tints and anything that could be, any blushes that are usually more sheer tend to be a little patchy on the skin. On top of that, I'm sure this is going to cost me an arm and a leg. So as of right now, it's a complete pass. And I know it's probably not a bad formula because Armani Beauty has some amazing products. It's just, I can't justify it right now. I really can't. r.e.m Beauty is releasing more lip products. This is their, what is this called? Essential Drip Glossy Balm, and they also have their under eye balm. So complete pass on the under eye balm. It might be good, but it's not something that I like get excited for, not something I need, not something I purchase. I am fine with my under eyes. But their Essential Drip Glossy Balm, specifically in the shade Hocus Cocoa, I'm kind of intrigued. I love anything that's glossy and balmy. It kind of, honestly, I feel like this might be their version of a lip oil. The formula looks like lip oil to me. I think that I could completely pass on this if it's a very like sheer thin, oily texture, which means it probably won't last long on my lips and will work like any other lip oil. But if it's a mixture between like a balmy texture and a thicker, glossy texture that has a little bit of stickiness, I might be interested in buying one. And of course, we have yet another lip product launch. This is from Charlotte Tilbury. She is releasing, or she has already released, her plumping Pillow Talk lip glosses. I don't know the exact name here. They come in two shades, Pillow Talk, and I think the other one is either Pillow Talk Medium. So there's a lighter Pillow Talk color and then of course a darker Pillow Talk color. And we are not ever going to escape Pillow Talk. Charlotte Tilbury will never let us forget Pillow Talk, okay? I have swatched this in store and my first impression is that the formula looks gorgeous. The colors are not that special and I don't really like the Pillow Talk shades, so it's a complete pass for me. If she just so happens to release more shades in the future, I might be interested. But the Pillow Talk shades are just overrated, overhyped. And you thought I was done with the lip launch releases. I'm not. NYX is releasing another line to, like an extension of their line to their butter glosses. It's their Butter Gloss Bling. And I'm kind of excited for these. It reminds me of like the 2000s when glittery lip glosses were a thing, and I feel like they're becoming a trend again. And NYX has one of the best lip gloss formulas I've ever tried. I used to be obsessed with their butter glosses in high school and I went through so many tubes of those lip glosses. They have so many different shades and on top of that, it's such a good price for what you get. But truthfully, I have not bought a butter gloss since high school, but I think this might be the launch that gets me to buy it. So if I see it at Ulta, I might buy one of the shades. All right, let's move on to something that is not a lip product. Too Faced has released their new Chocolate Soleil Melting Bronze and Sculpting Stick with 4 different shades, which is slightly questionable, but the undertones look pretty nice, at least the undertones that I would prefer. Something that's a little bit warm but neutral at the same time. I've heard a lot of great things about this and truthfully, I kind of want it. Do I need it? Definitely not. I have cream bronzers that I love. I have the Rare Beauty cream bronzer that I love. I have the Huda Beauty cream bronzer that I love. So no, I do not need this. This is the one bronzer release that I've seen so far, aside from the e.l.f. bronzing drop. And I think I have to tell myself, maybe in May, there are gonna be more bronzer releases. And in that case, I should wait. Take my own advice, because what if this is not the one that I'm most excited for? Let me know if you've tried the Too Faced bronzers. Maybe you can convince me out of buying it. I do have enough bronzing sticks, but I'm just curious. Like, I haven't bought anything from Too Faced in a long time, and I've actually been waiting for them to release something that I'm excited to buy, and this is something. And especially if it smells like chocolate. I don't know, y'all. No promises on this one. I can't talk myself out of this one. Next launch is not really a makeup product, but I do want to mention it because it is also from Charlotte Tilbury, and I feel like it's kind of an exciting launch for some people. She is releasing and branching into fragrance. So there are 6 new fragrances that she's releasing inspired by different moods. I cannot tell whether or not this packaging looks cheap or expensive. I feel like I would have to see it in person. Off the bat, I do like the design of the bottles. I find it to be unique, pretty on brand. They remind me of like potions. There's a pink one that I'm pretty sure it's called Love Frequency. So yeah, I like that it's inspired by emotions. Like Charlotte Tilbury never fails when it comes to concepts and even the design. They do cheap out on packaging sometimes. So knowing how expensive this is probably going to be, I'm hoping because it's a perfume, it's also going to feel luxurious, unlike her makeup products. I also like the idea of releasing 6 different emotional inspired fragrances at once, because as a consumer, I can just pick the one that I feel like is calling my name. And especially now, fragrances are a big thing. People are obsessed with fragrances. I feel like this is a good time to drop something like this. So for me, I think it's going to be a pass, just simply because I already overconsume enough when it comes to makeup. Perfume is the last thing I try to overconsume with. I need to like cut back somewhere, and perfume is where I cut back. So at least for now, these are a pass because I don't need perfume and I don't really collect perfume. I'm not a fragrance content creator. The only way I'm convinced is if someone says they're obsessed with one of them and they describe the scent to me. Or maybe I'll smell it in the store and decide. But as much as I love this, I can love it, admire it, and not buy it. All right, we're getting close to the end here, and this is the last blush release. I feel like this video was just bronzers, lip products, and blush. Basma released their cream blushes and everyone seems to be going crazy over these. I simply just don't know why. It's a huge pass for me. If I bought these, it would be a waste of money because, as I've said before, cream blushes are not my thing. There's something about the formula that I think is too emollient and thick that when I use cream blushes on my cheeks, it is too sticky and glowy and dewy on my cheeks that it like enhances my texture, and I don't like that look and I don't embrace that look. So I'm sure they're probably great if you do love cream blushes. I do love the shade options that they have, but I do not think that they're going to be any different than any other cream blush I've tried. On top of that, they do expire quickly, so if I were to buy one, it would just sit in the drawer and I would use it once in a blue moon and then expire. So for that reason, I'm out. I promise this is the last lip product of the video. Olehenricksen. I don't know if this is a whole new release or they just released different shades. So they released their Pout Preserve Hydrating Peptide Lip Treatment in different flavors, I think, but this is another product that people are obsessing over. I was definitely tempted to buy this during the Sephora sale because I heard it was very hydrating on the lips, and that's usually what I look for. Like, I don't want a lip balm and then it dries out my lips. I want a real lip balm. If I'm gonna spend $22, it needs to be hydrating on the lips, and I've heard great things about this, but I convinced myself out of buying it for now because I just had so many things in my Sephora sale cart already. I couldn't justify buying yet another lip balm because I have so many at home already. So if you are in the same boat as me, if you are a lip balm lover, I'm sure we're not missing out. I'm sure this is no different than any other lip balm that we own. And if you really think about it, this lip balm just feels like the next new lip balm. And then when another lip balm comes out, that's gonna be the next new lip balm. I'm not saying I'll never buy this lip balm to try it, but I am saying that as of right now, I don't really have a good justification for it. And it's something I can definitely live without. Last but not least, this is the most fun, I think, product launch of the video. One Size released their collaboration with Wicked. And I think this is Wicked the musical, not Wicked the movie, which for me, I'm not like a theater fanatic, but I am very familiar with Wicked. I know some of the songs, I know some of the storyline, but I've never watched the actual show before. With this collaboration, it's definitely not my cup of tea. It's not something that I am like running after, but I do want to chat a little bit about the creation and the concepts. So it comes with a Defying Gravity Spotlight Highlighter, an Unlimited Eye and Face Palette, the popular glitter setting spray, and the Off to Handle complexion brush. First of all, I love the brush because it looks like a broomstick. I think it's absolutely adorable. Patrick Star really did that. And also the glitter setting spray. I saw someone on TikTok use it and they were not kidding when they say it's a glitter setting spray. Like, it makes you so freaking glittery. As for the highlighter and the eyeshadow palette, I'm not that interested in it. I don't like palettes that have like eyeshadows and then face powders. I don't really like that. But it does make sense for One Size because a lot of their products are very much long wear, oily skin friendly, stage makeup, and to collaborate with Wicked, it just makes sense. So even though this collaboration isn't for me, I definitely will not be buying a glitter setting spray or a broomstick brush. I can appreciate and admire the artistry and the ideas that came behind this collection. On that note, that was the last new makeup release of the video. Like I said, do not make me talk to myself. I want to hear from you. I want to hear your opinions down in the comments below. Whether it's the same opinion or a different opinion, we embrace all opinions on this channel as long as you keep it kind and respectful. Don't make me delete you. With all that being said, thank you all so much as always for the love and support. Like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new to my channel, and I'll catch you on the flip side.